Hello guys, this is Vysh. So the Polity Ncrts we were doing class 6th. We have done two chapters and now this third chapter which is what is government. Okay. So again all the important things and the exam point of view pointers you will get it from Lakshmikant textbook, but still there are certain helpful benefits if you actually read the NCRTs also. So that is why the series is being done. Okay. So some things you will feel it very silly and all, but because we can show you similar questions which came in the UPSC exam also, we are doing this series. Okay. So before beginning, we'll show you an MCQ, which can be a very simplistic, but it is from today's chapter only. Okay, like who said the following phrase or statement? Okay, I cannot possibly bear the idea that a man who has got wealth should have the vote, but that a man who has got character but no wealth or literacy should have no vote, or that a man who works honestly by the sweat of his brow day in and day out should not have the vote for the crime of being a poor man. So, who has told this in any of his books or in any speeches or any meetings? That is what you have to tell. Okay, so the options are Mahatma Gandhi in the Young India Journal, Jawaharlal Nehru in the Discovery of India book, Subhash Chandra Bose during 1939 the INC meet, or Sarojini Naidu during the 1925 INC meet. Okay, so this when in this chapter you will get the answer when we do the different slides. You will get the answer automatically, but still, if you know, you can tell in the comment section. Okay, this is the first question, and as usual, I'll show you UPSC questions also, which are related to the government chapter. Okay, so this one, if you see which one of the following best defines the term state. Okay, so it's a UPSC 2021 question, and this was directly there in our society playlist. Okay, so here if you see a community of persons permanently occupying a definite territory, independent of external control, and possessing an organized government. A political organized people of a definite territory and possessing an authority to govern them, maintain law and order, protect their natural rights, and safeguard their means of sustenance. So, if you see, each statement is elaborating certain aspects of a state or a place where people are living. Okay, a number of persons who have been living in a definite territory for a very long time with their own culture, tradition, and government. Okay. Now, third, again, if you see a society, definite territory, central authority, executive responsible to center. So, like that, they have given keywords. Okay. So, now this one you have to try to find out. Already, we have done playlist for all the previous year questions. 2021, I think midway we have done it. That also I'll complete it soon. Okay. So, here, this one is also there. I'll show you the playlist in which we have taught you this also. It was a direct question from Vysh Ias free lectures. Okay. Now, in 2021 and 20, there was a question which repeated ditto as the same thing. Okay, if you see here, a constitutional government is what? Here also, a constitutional government means what? This is 2020 to 21. They have actually made that question easier. Okay, here if you see, they're asking a government by legislature, popular government, multi-party government, or limited government. This is the 2020 question. So many of you told it's a difficult question, but it's a very, very simple and easy question. Okay, and 21 when they came, they made it even more simpler by making the statements more elaborate. Here they are telling a representative government of a nation with a federal structure, a government whose head enjoys nominal power, a government whose head enjoys real power, a government limited by the terms of the constitution. Okay, so you will know the answer, I know, but still, this is a very funny way of asking it. Okay, like suppose I tell like who is a angry man. Okay, and if I give the option like a man who is angry, obviously a commonsensical person knows that is an angry man. Okay, angry man means a man who is angry. Similar like that here, a constitutional government, a government limited by the constitution. Okay, so they are just literally expanded that in an English sentence and given you, and this is actually like mocking the students. Okay, so this also, if you made it wrong in your papers, okay, that means you are not even like caring of like, or you are not knowing which one is the easy question, which one to pick from the question paper. Okay, because all you need is in 100 around 50 to 55 questions you need to write. Okay, and you will pass the cutoff, whether it's general category also up to 50 or 55 questions is the maximum you have to do. So these are the kind of questions which you have to find out. It's no mandatory that you have to do all the questions in the paper. Okay, like in 2021 paper also, if you skip this question of the state definition, it's okay. But if you skip this question or you make this wrong, then it's a very difficult thing to clear that paper. Okay, so understand that as and when you prepare, you are preparing not to by heart all the books. You are preparing to solve the questions which come in UPSC. Okay, so that's why I'm showing you this. Okay, you should know which one is the one which you should definitely do, which one is like okay if you don't do also. Okay, now, for lectures, as I told, whichever subject you want, people keep coming and asking me in WhatsApp. That's why I'm telling repeatedly. You type Vysh Ias in YouTube, and after that, you type NCRT or environment or economy or polity or geography with the class. If you want NCRT class 6 history, okay, like that, when you type, the playlist will come. Simply when you type NCERT itself, all the NCERT playlist will come in order. Okay. If it doesn't come also, along with that, just type class 6, class 7, class 8. So if something doesn't come, that means it's either not there or maybe it is not fully complete. Okay. Or maybe you are not subscribed to the channel. So hit subscribe and hit the bell icon so that all these things are visible to you. Okay. So these are again mains playlist, another history playlist, and here again environment playlist. Here is the mains playlist. Here if you see this one, Indian society, around 20-25 episodes we did. In this, I think the very first episode, the very first thing we taught you is what is the definition of a state, a nation, and a nation state. And that is exactly what UPSC asked you. We did this before the prelims last year, and that exactly came in the exam also. Okay. So please see to it that you're watching all the episodes, because our lectures and test series is enough for you to clear the prelims. Okay, we are doing it every year, and it is every year we are getting a lot of students clearing prelims also. So please take all these things seriously. Again, there are many playlists you can go and check. Okay, previous year questions also, everything solved is there. So now this chapter, okay, chapter 3, what is government? This is what we are going to discuss. So when we tell government, there are many things in it. Okay, the prime minister is there, the ministers are there, the opposition is there, the speaker, the Lok Sabha, everybody, entire thing. Okay, so government is a very big thing, which in proper way, chapter by chapter, you will learn in our polity playlist in Lakshmikant. Okay, but there are many things, like if you see the Bharat Petroleum, this is also government is the majority shareholder. It's a government agency. Then if you see the railways are government. Now you recently, the Vande Bharat, the 180-kilometer speed train and all is inaugurated. Then the court, in a way, if you see, it is a system of governance. Okay, in NCRT, it is a clear line written like the courts are a part of the government. Okay, so indeed, like if you take RBI or if you take the court, all these things are the most important parts of your governance system. Okay, so government doesn't mean just the ruling party or the prime minister. Okay, it is the entire system we call as government. So government's role and need in simplistic way, like for 6 standard NCRT they have written, like government is needed for making decisions and getting things done. These can be decisions about building roads or schools, or like maybe reducing the price of onions or vegetables when they get too much expensive, or maybe supplying electricity to the people, then taking actions on social issues, or several programs which help the poor. Then other important things such as running a postal service or a railway service. These are the things which government is obliged to do to the people, for the people. Okay, the government also has the job of protecting the boundaries of the country. Okay, the border and everything, and maintaining peaceful relations with other countries. It is responsible for ensuring that all its citizens have enough to eat and have good health facilities. When there are natural disasters like tsunami or earthquake, it is the government that mainly organizes aid and assistance for the affected people. And if there is a dispute, people will go to the court. That is why I told court is also a part of the governance system. Okay, I have written governance system in the NCERT. It is written court is part of the government itself. So when we tell that, it is not a false statement. Okay, directly or indirectly, it is part of the government only, because we have the legislature, executive, and judiciary. These three together. Okay, and we tell even media is the fourth pillar of democracy and also that kind of thing. Slowly, chapter by chapter, when we do, we will see. Okay, so these are all building up or making it easy for you to understand the Lakshmikant polity textbook, which you will read. Now, law, government are the ones who make laws, that so government makes laws, and everyone who lives in the country has to follow these things. Just like the government has the power to make decisions, similarly it has the power to enforce its decision also. Nobody can tell like I will not follow the rule, or like my personal laws are more important, my religious laws are more important. Nobody can tell that. Government makes a law means that is applicable to everyone. RBI makes a law means it is applicable to everyone who is using the economic system. So like that, it is applicable to everyone. There is a law like there is like the license is required. Without that, you cannot drive a vehicle means you cannot argue that I am a better driver, I don't need to prove that anything to you, I don't need a document for that. You cannot argue, you have to have a license. Now recently, when this Cyrus Mistry, this accident happened, he was sitting in the back seat and not wearing seat belt, and he died. Actually, four people were in the car. Two people who wore the seat belt survived, the other two people died. So because of that, the government is thinking to make like wearing the seat belt also, like we have helmet, now we have fine and other things and all. Seat belt for everyone in the car, that is going to become a law soon. Okay, so once it comes, then you cannot argue or you cannot fight with them, you have to wear the seat belt. Okay, so now, without these laws, the government's power to make decisions is not of much use. In addition to any actions that government can take, there are also steps that people can take if they feel that a particular law is not being followed. Like if a person feels, for example, they are not hired for a job because of their religion or caste, or like they're disabled, anything a company tells or anybody deny you your rights or something, you can go to approach the court and claim that the law is not being followed. So our Indian system has everything in place so that everybody has their rights enforced. Okay, the court can then give orders about what should be done. Now, the type of government, there are a lot of type of governments which in detail you will study later only, but just because it's NCRT language they have written, we have democratic system where people are the ones who give the government this power. Okay, in our constitution also it is written. If you have, sorry, preamble also, if you have written, if you have seen, you will see. Okay, like we the people of India are giving this power. Okay, so they do this through elections in which they vote for particular persons and elect them. Once elected, these persons form the government. In a democracy, the government has to explain its action and defend its decisions to the people. They are liable to the people. They have to explain everything. They cannot just like a kind of a dictatorship. They cannot announce anything. They have to tell like this is the thing, this is the reason it is being done, and this is the timeline to which we will be doing, or these are the exceptions to it. Everything has to be explained. Okay, it's not like China where they impose everything on the people. That cannot happen in a democracy. Another form of government is the monarchy. Okay, you know the kings and queens and all those Mughal rule and all these things happen. This is the monarchical system where they make decisions and run the government. They are like a small group of people. They discuss the matters within them, and final decision power is with them only. It's not like what people cares. They will decide whatever they want. Then there is a third type, which actually in this textbook it is not there, but it is the constitutional monarchy, where you like in UK and all, you know, the queen is there, and they have a separate government system also. They have their parliament concept also, which India also borrowed from UK only, and they have the constitution also, which need not be written. Okay, that is the next thing in Lakshmikant you will study. Like constitution itself, there is a written constitution like India, there is unwritten constitution like UK is actually a mix. Actually, they have some code and some laws codified in written form, and many they have just in agreements and verbal form. Okay, it's not written, so it's like a unwritten constitution which UK has, so it's called a unwritten constitutional monarchy. India is a democratic constitution. Okay, constitutional democracy you can call. And the these Mughals and all, it's like a monarchy. So these are different simple terms I am telling you, so that later when Lakshmikant is being read, you will understand in a better way. Unlike in a democracy, kings and queens do not have to explain their actions or defend the decisions they take. Okay, now another important thing is the voting system. So India is a democracy. The achievement is the result of a long and eventful struggle of the Indian people. There are other places in the world where people have also struggled to have democracies. So you now know that the main feature of democracy is that the people have the power to elect their leaders. So in a sense of democracy, in a sense, a democracy is ruled by the people. Okay, ruled by the people. If it is mentioned somewhere, that means it's the democratic system. The basic idea is that people rule themselves by participating in the making of these rules. Democratic governments in our times are usually referred to as representative democracies. Okay, why it is called representative democracy? Because it is like the people's rule only, but that doesn't mean people are going and sitting in the parliament and people are entirely taking all the decisions like a panchayat system or something. Everybody is not involved. Okay, they are electing someone, and you are electing that someone is your representative. So that representative is taking decisions on your behalf. Okay, so in a representative democracy, people do not participate directly, but instead choose their representatives through an election process. These representatives meet and make decisions for the entire population. These days, a government cannot call itself democratic unless it allows what is known as universal adult franchise. This means that all adults in the country are allowed to vote. Okay, all doesn't mean like even small children. Okay, it's like 18 and above. So like that, every adult. Okay, that's why it's called universal adult franchise. Every adult, or sometimes it's called universal adult suffrage. Okay, and this is the like the new ballot system where we are voting. Okay, the paper kind of system and all is gone now. In the earliest form, governments allowed only men who owned property and were educated to vote. Okay, earlier, if you know that we will study in Lakshmikant the first chapter also, and Spectrum, when you study different laws which British India time we were making, slowly only the voting was being given. Okay, first and all, we cannot even enter the this constituent assembly. Later Indians entered, then slowly they got the voting power, speaking about the budget. So slowly different act and all you will study, and by the time we got independence, we became a country where everybody above the age of 18 got the power to vote. Okay, like other countries like even USA and all, they did not get it like that. Even after being independent, only a section could vote, and later the women got, later maybe the black people got. So like that, it was based on race and gender and all. They gave it slowly, but in India, when we were independent, everybody got it together. That is one good thing about Indian election system. So the country was governed by the rules and regulations that these few men made. Okay, that is earlier when we did not have it before independence. Now, in India, before independence, only a small minority was allowed to vote and therefore came together to determine the fate of the majority. So, several people, including Gandhiji, were shocked at the unfairness of this practice and demanded that all adults has the right to vote, and this is known as universal adult franchise. So, in this Young India journal in 1931, Gandhiji only said this particular thing, which I asked you in the starting of this video. Okay, this thing is written in Young India journal, which is again a UPSC question. Last year, 2022, a question about a book was there. I think Songs from Prison. Okay, one Songs from Prison is written by whom? So it was by Mahatma Gandhi. So like this, UPSC asking very simple book and author kind of questions. So that is where NCRTs will help you. Okay, so this is the answer to that question which we asked. Now at the end of this NCRT, they are asking again some questions which is not important for you, but the highlighted part, okay, this yellow color, these are the things you have to know, because these are basics. What is the meaning of government? Because UPSCs are asking what is a government, what is a parliamentary democracy, what is a constitutional government. Okay, then government needs to make rule for everyone. So what do you think about that, like whether it is correct or something else should be done? Then two essential features of democratic government. So this, when you read Lakshmikant, you will have a chapter like salient features of the government. That time you will study more about it. Then suffrage movement, that is the voting history and all. Again, in spectrum you will study later. Then Gandhiji strongly believed that every adult in India should be given the right to vote. So about that, they can ask you an essay, okay, like about this thing or anything can come. Okay, today essay of the mains happened, that I'll do a separate video. So in that, very interesting questions were there. Okay, so this one answer, now you got it. The answer is A. And the other one, these three, you have to tell me in comment section. Okay, these two have the same answer. And this one, the definition of state, this is having a answer which may be difficult for you, but we have already taught you and we already discussed also when we discussed Vysh versus UPSC that year. So please see to that you tell these things in the comment section, so that newcomers who don't know about UPSC and all, and they are giving their first attempt next year, they will find it helpful. Okay, so try to tell in comment section. I'll wind up this video now. Thank you and have a nice day.